Our economy is strong as hell. Inflation is worldwide. It's worse off everywhere else than it is in the United States.
There you have it. That was President Biden over the weekend in an Oregon ice cream parlor, assuring reporters and thus the rest of us that the U.S. economy is apparently thriving. The press had a field day with the image. Leader of the free world enjoying his Baskin-Robbins chocolate chip ice cream cone, telling Americans not to worry, their finances should be in great shape. Personally, I prefer mint chocolate chip, but hey. The data speaks for itself. President Biden took office. Since then, the average American family has lost $6,000 in purchasing power due to inflation. Monthly savings have collapsed 83%. The average 401k is down $34,000. And a new BMO financial survey shows that 76% of Americans are making lifestyle changes ahead of a possible recession. And yet, the White House this weekend was just as eager to insist that there's really nothing to see here because the economy is thriving.
We are starting to see signs that our red-hot economy is starting to cool. And so we know that because of that strength, we're better positioned than most other countries for the Fed to achieve its dual goals.
We actually think the probability for a soft landing is good. That's because of how strong the economy has been.
We would be faced with the kinds of problems that we were faced with when the president arrived, which was an economy that was facing a very real risk of free fall.
We are now strong and thriving. Less than a month away from the midterms, it seems as though Democrats might be forgetting one of the core principles that fueled Bill Clinton's election in 1992. James Carville's great line, "It's the economy, stupid." And this is what Bill Clinton was great at. He let people know that he knew they were struggling financially. He didn't just pretend it's not happening. As George H.W. Bush learned, if you pretend it's not happening, you lose. A New York Times Siena College poll just out shows that if midterms were held today, more voters would choose Republican candidates over Democrat. The so-called generic ballot. Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist, NewsNation senior contributor George Will is with us now. George, is this what we're seeing? Is that 2, 3, 4 weeks before elections, it always happens, everything just comes back to your wallet?
Well, it does when you realize that 58% of Americans are in the stock market, either through 401ks and IRAs or directly. So they feel this every day. The Democrats have made a wager because they had limited choices, and their wager was that abortion could trump inflation. The problem with that wager is numerical. There are scores of millions of Americans who actually wanted Roe v. Wade overturned. No one is in favor of inflation. So inflation is grabbing people's attention. And Leland, 26 days before, last Thursday, 26 days before Election Day, we got the last numbers we're going to get on inflation, and they were terrible. It was the 7th consecutive month of more than 8% inflation.
Was it a gamble that they made by choice, or sort of they had to make it? They knew there was inflation, therefore the only thing they could hang their hat on was trying to rally Democrats and independents on abortion. The flip side of that, but for inflation, they'd probably be in a pretty strong place, right? Because people can afford then to vote on social issues.
That is correct. And the fact, however, remains that their legislative achievements are fairly scant. They blame 2 Democratic senators for that, or Mitch McConnell. No one cares about that inside baseball talk. All the public knows is what the Biden administration, almost 2 years old now, is known for is inflation. And that's why they are talking about abortion, which is a pretty thin reed on which to rest an entire party's midterm agenda.
This is the president's statement on the economy. We'll go back to this weekend with the ice cream cone. Take a listen.
The president is going to get out there, as we have said multiple times, to make sure that he's talking directly to the American people about how we are delivering on our promises, delivering on how we're really taking inflation seriously, delivering on making sure that we're creating those jobs that the American people really need at this time. Where he is needed, he will go.
All right, that's the White House explaining why he's not in swing states like Georgia, Ohio, Pennsylvania. But she missed the "our economy is strong as hell" talking point in that why not feel your pain as Bill Clinton so famously did and was so good at? Why not admit, while having an ice cream or anything else, that people are hurting and he's here to help? We did a whole segment on this last week, and I can't figure out why a White House as smart as the one that this is, with Ron Klain and others, don't do that.
Well, when in 1992 Bill Clinton said to suffering people, "I feel your pain," they were feeling the pain that they blamed on the incumbent president, George Herbert Walker Bush. No one is saying that this inflation, which was not here when Mr. Biden ran for president. His spokesman just said, "We're keeping our promises." I don't recall him promising to deliver or to fight 8% inflation. That's why the president is stressing the one thing that he can stress, which is we have a very strange economic condition in which inflation is hurting people a lot, but we have just about as low unemployment as you can have in this republic. But it's a strange condition, but the public isn't thanking him for the jobs they think they ought to have anyway. They are blaming him for the fact that their paychecks are demonstrably being lowered by policies ignited by Lunch Bucket Joe.
Yeah. Elections are about the future, I think, as many have said. It's good to see you, sir. Thank you, as always. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.